It's the Bahrain Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go.
Hey, I'm Serenity, and this is my channel, and welcome back to Pit Lane Sweets and Treats, where we make a dessert inspired by our hosting country on the F1 2025 calendar. Today we are in Bahrain, round 4, so we are going to be making, I hope I'm saying this right, I wrote it out phonetically, I'm still dyslexic, Mahalabiya, which is a dessert custard pudding, and we're making ours with a strawberry compote on top. So first, we are going to mix together our heavy cream, about a cup, and 1/4 of a cup of cornstarch into a medium-sized bowl. So this dessert originally was actually a savory dish made with chicken, rice, milk, almonds, and honey around the 13th century. But as the legend goes, a young Parisian cook was challenged to make a dish for an army general. This is thickened up, which is exactly what we want. I want to make sure there is no lumps in this. During the 7th century, this general enjoyed the pudding so much that the dish was then named after him. All right, this is now nice and smooth. So we're going to set this aside. We're now going to move to the stove because we are making our compote on the stove. We're going to do a medium heat, adding 2 cups of whole milk along with 1 cup of white sugar and finally 18 cracked cardamom pods. I didn't know if I was supposed to separate them, so I'm just going to do both because we are going to be straining this later. Anyway, and we're going to bring this to a slow simmer. The dish was served as a dessert as early as 1530 with all the ingredients staying the same minus the minced meat. Now, pinpointing this dish to one place, like one origin company, is pretty hard because it has appeared in Europe's lexicon in the 14th to 15th century, then in Spain and the Philippines, and of course, Italy all have variations of this dessert. So you have pan cotta. The toppings on this dessert tend to change based on season, and so you usually use what is in season to top it. And it's often enjoyed during Ramadan Eid, both end of holidays. The first Grand Prix was held here in 2004. So as you know, this is where pre-season testing takes place now. It marked the first ever race to be held in the Middle East, with a unique backdrop of sand of the Arabian desert. And the track is surrounded by dirt, which can cause a lot of issues during the race because dirt can get in the cars. Some quick facts about the circuit. It is 5.412 kilometers in length and has a total of 57 laps, which means once the drivers have completed the race, they will have traveled 308.238 kilometers in distance. And the current lap record is held by Pedro de la Rosa from his 2005 lap record at 1 minute 31 seconds and 0.447 minutes. So let's talk about this week's news. There kind of isn't much news. I've kind of been out of it, other than that the Japan race was boring. Congratulations to Max. But, nothing really happened. I also love Max and Yuki's dynamic. Their promotional videos have been good. The McLarens, there's a common misconception that the McLarens are rocket ships. I don't think they're rocket ships, or else Max wouldn't be 1 point away from Lando in the championship. They're not rocket ships, okay? They're faster in pace, but I think by the time Monaco, Miami comes around, we're going to see that we're not as fast as everyone thinks we are, And last but not least, Doohan should have not been driving in that race under any circumstance. He shouldn't have been in that race after that FP2 crash, because getting out of the car, he couldn't get out of the car. If he had crashed and the jump test was needed, I don't think he would have been safe. And at what point do we talk about that drivers are not commodities that can just be switched over? It's not like a piece of paper you throw away after you finish writing on it. And we really need to talk and have that conversation because he can't get out of his car. That Esteban needs to help him get out. Our milk is now at a simmer. So I'm going to give this another stir, turn it down to about a 3 on my stove. And then I'm going to cover it with a lid and let that simmer for 10 minutes. So let's get into our next topic, which is women in motorsports. I do this segment every episode. Basically, I'm reading this book faster. I know, guys, I'm still reading it. I'm reading a physical book, this one, another physical book that's fiction, Babylonian, if you've heard of it. I'm also reading a book on my Kindle and listening to an audiobook all at once, okay? I'm behind. And basically, faster is based on how sports are used to disguise horrible things that certain countries are doing using the flashing lights of sports, namely what the Nazis did with the Mercedes German-owned car during those races. So my degree is actually in women, gender, and sexuality studies. I'm almost done with it. And I thought it'd be insightful to bring the perspective to this series of how this is happening before our eyes again. Believe me, when we get to Miami, I'm going to lay into my home country and what oppression might be happening while we are focusing on these grand specular races that with multi-million-dollar cars. Okay, our milk mixture has simmered for 10 minutes. So now we are going to add our heavy cream mixture in here. And we're going to turn this even more down because we don't want it to burn. Just whisk this to combine. We're going to let this go for about 5 minutes. I just dropped the camera. I honestly have no clue how much of that made it.
I lost the face cam footage for this part, but anyways, so we're going to whisk the heavy cream for about 5 minutes into our mixture, then add 2 teaspoons of rose water, give that a whisk, then take our custard mixture off the heat, and we're going to pass this through a fine strainer into a large bowl that is heat safe, making sure to get all of the cream out, and then only your cardamom pods are left. Finally, we're going to take that hot mixture of custard and we're going to pour it evenly into 6-ounce glasses between 4 serving bowls, and these are going to chill in the fridge for 4 to 6 hours. Next, we are going to go work on our compote, which is going to go on top of our pudding mixture.
In a saucepan, we're going to add 8 ounces of chopped strawberries, a tablespoon of white sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom ground, a tablespoon of rose water. Finally,
a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice.
Over high heat, we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to simmer for 10 minutes to release the fruit's juices. After that, we'll uncover the pan until the liquid thickens and the strawberry softens, and we're going to do that for another 10 to 15 minutes. After that, I'm going to chill it in the fridge. Okay, while that is going, Bahrain. Let's get into it. Since the king took throne in 1999, there have been improvements on women's rights, specifically the 2002 Constitution set women equal to men, guaranteeing gender equality in political, social, and economic spheres without breaching the previous provisions of Islamic law. But the Constitution also states the family is the cornerstone of society, the strength which lies in religion, ethnics, and patriotism, meaning the nation still believes that the traditional and conservative role for women is the best. Also, there are no provisions in the Constitution banning discrimination in the workplace based on gender or other societal places. Women have the right to vote and run in national elections, but they still make up a small portion of representatives. The government is making efforts to change this, with the king's wife running the Supreme Council of Women to make strides to elect more women. As of 2020, only 15% of women make up the parliament. While in 2007, women made up 72% of students at the local universities, the workforce is majority men. As of 2019, 45.3% of women are in the labor force. Bahrain is ranked 116 out of 146 on the 2024 Global Gender Gap Index. While the secular part of Bahrainian law advances women, the religious part holds them back. Bahrainian women face hard social pressures to stay at home and take care of their family, as it is customary for Islamic traditions. This is something we're seeing all over the world. It is wanting to uphold traditions, but also wanting to advance as a society. We are back. It has been about 4.5 hours. The puddings are not 100% set, but it is close to midnight and I need to complete with this. So I have our chilled strawberry compote, and I'm just going to put a little bit on each one. And I think the reason why they haven't really set is because my heavy cream was room temp. It's really hot in Texas, so everything is becoming room temp quickly. I'm going to top with some crushed pistachios. These are toasted pistachios. I'm sorry if you can see my dog Clover on the side. He's always here watching me bake. Might as well make them all look the same. And finally, I'm going to top with some dried rose petals. And these smell phenomenal. Okay. And now we are ready to try. I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to make sure to get a bite of everything. Oh, wow. Middle Eastern food is some of my favorite. Baklava is one of my favorite desserts, so this is so good. 9.5 dugong, which is a type of dolphin that apparently is native to the area. This is so good. The cardamom in the milk is so good. It kind of reminds me of like a Christmas drink. And the spices, oh yeah, they know what they were doing with this one. This is amazing. I'm taking off 1/2 point only because it's not setting, and that is definitely my fault. Okay, so let's talk race predictions real quick. I have only seen FP1 and FP2 as of filming this because races are finally on Sunday again for us Americans. So FP1 and 2 have only happened since it is Friday at 11 p.m. I have no idea what the starting grid looks like, so I'm just going to go off of what I feel. And yes, McLaren fan out. I've been saying it, but I wouldn't be saying it if we weren't so strong so far this season. McLaren 1-2, I'm going to say Oscar takes the lead. Norris is second. And then I'm actually going to put Charles Leclerc on that podium as number 3. The Ferrari, I think they're hiding something, okay? I think this is the time they're going to shine. And I'm actually going to say Yuki outscores Max. They've been having issues this weekend. So to round out this video, let's do meme of the week. It's going to be this meme. The memes weren't that strong this week because, well, Japan wasn't the best race. But yeah, that's all I have for you. I will see you next week for the last stop on this triple header, Saudi Arabia. Love you, minute kisses, don't think stupid. And I'll see you next time. Bye.